Hey you, hey beautiful souls. I wanted to come in here really briefly to celebrate a win in a sense. And some of you will understand this win. And for those of you who don't, just feel into this and add light to the situation if you can, because we need your light now more than ever. So I went to the airport before dawn this morning, very early. So I came back, I went straight back to sleep, and I don't know, I got up, I looked on Alexa, and it was 1:11 p.m. I was like, oh my gosh, I slept so long. But anyway, I went on my phone, and the first thing that came up on my phone was this press conference talking about the time and the patience and the light that's been shed into the autistic, beautiful, colorful realm, and the changes that is now being ushered into it. That really is way overdue. However, I'm not going to knock that. But now I understand why my Arcturian team was just so much with me all last night and now all today, because we need to celebrate this win. And let me explain for anyone who's followed me for any period of time, because I know my time on YouTube has been very brief, but I've always spoken very passionately about, I have my phone turned sideways. I have no idea where to put my eyes for it to focus, so ignore the fluctuation of my eyes. I am very passionate about children on the spectrum, and this box that us, the world, have chosen to place these beautiful beings and their families who caretake them for eons of years. And the reason why I'm passionate about that is because of my connection with the Arcturian group, and also the lessons during my own self-healing years ago that my guides allowed me to experience and witness. A volunteer soul who chose to incarnate to Earth in order to shake up these very shaky boundaries on autism, who chose to take the form of an autistic child coming into this realm. And what I learned was not from science or the medical field, but from my guides, that in the past 25 years, there's been an absolute beautiful influx. They call it a beautiful array of color to heal this planet and allow the light to be shined on these families who before were just, it was as if they were cast in a black hole somewhere and there was not support. The doctors weren't listening to them when they would try to eject their own observation the moment that they noticed something was wrong, even before the pre-birth, before the child was born, when they noticed. And the medical, let's say, industry was not listening to these beautiful families and their mothers, and also their siblings, who would tell them, this is what I noticed at this point. And everybody just had it as it's a lost case. They're already disabled, they have ADHD, they have autism, they're nonverbal, and that's all we can do is just put them in this box and they can't integrate in society. And it has been an uphill climb for these beautiful mothers. And I never forget when the guy showed me energetically what we do to an autistic child and their family when we say we're empathic to them, but instead what we really do is casting this shadow of judgment towards them, because we don't understand that these autistic children, really what they represent is another aspect of God. It's another aspect of unconditional love. They choose to be this unconditional container of love, and the way they see and feel the world is different from us, but it's not less than the way we see it. I found this interesting. It's not less, it's more. They feel your energy despite the words that come out of your mouth. So if you're saying you're okay to an autistic human being and you really aren't emitting this energy from you, they feel it. And we don't understand from pre-birth energetically what we also give to our children, and the choices we make with the things that we allow to be consumed within the bodies, things that we allow to be medicated to give. So this press conference that I just saw, I was very teary about it, because not even the words that were being said, but the light that I could feel now being shone, I don't know what the right term is, in this space that it's so needed. And what's happened now, the guy's shown me, is as if, okay, this is what's happened. And it's always been a closed case. And we don't need to give them support because they're lost cases anyway. And what this move, along with so many others, but this one, why? Because people watch so much. The media propagates so much. And instead of now, let's say, saying, oh, that's not important, you know, my this is more important, my that is more important. What I'm asking you to do at this point is support it with light and love and understanding, and hoping that they will continue, whoever the powers are that are doing this, because it's so deep. It's deeper than what you will see. Because the reason why now the lid, according to what they showed me, is now been taken off. And when the lid is taken off something spiritually, there's nothing you can do to put it back on. You cannot screw it back on, because the minute you take the lid off, it changes form, it changes shape, it now starts to manifest. And the reason why this happened is because there are so many advanced souls who chose to now incarnate, and what my guides tell me is within the past 20 to 25 years across the spectrum. So it was no longer, oh, it's only people in the lower class who had children on the spectrum, and because of that nobody paid attention. They didn't get the right medical care. Nobody paid them any mind. There was no, let's say, form of healing or the proper therapy that really focused on each individual child who had these situations. And there's still so many countries, including my own country, Jamaica, that really has not spent enough time to really hone into our attention that should be placed on this. And what these advanced souls did, they chose to incarnate across the line. So there was an influx in the past 20 to 25 years of families in the lower class, middle class, upper class, beyond upper class. And because of that change, all of a sudden, the numbers climb so much where there are people now who used to look down on others who had this child who's not so right. They're not so, they're offish. They won't integrate into society. Now have to be paying attention. Why? Because these beautiful volunteer souls chose to widen the spectrum of this beautiful gift to this planet to allow us. We must not be the ones who simply add darkness and add judgment and say we are empathic. However, we don't support, we don't give, we don't add light. And now that, the corks come off this lid is busted off, I'm so bloody excited for this. I don't know who else does not feel this. I'm so excited to be alive now, to witness these things that I see and feel and can be directed to see one clip that gives me such an energetic, it's like, yeah, I want to go on top of a mountain and just dance, and like, oh my gosh, for the spectrum community, for this community that felt, now, it doesn't mean that all the changes are going to happen now, but it's enough. Do you understand? This is exactly what we needed. We needed to have people now honing into their neighbors who have a child with autism or ADHD, or you call them disabled. For the angels, they call them specially able to feel and see more than you will ever do. And I love that. But there are families who really struggle, and what this does, because now it's been spoken of, I guess, in a forum where people now will listen, whether they want to add darkness to it, because expect that now distractions will come from this. Why? Because remember the powers that be that were these very shaky beams within now the healthcare industry that gained from people's fear, that gained from people adding darkness to these very small pockets, causing these parents to have to fork more money out of their own pockets to try to find support and therapy and guidance for these beautiful children. Now that they will be supported, it kind of knocks off some of the cards that were on the table. It does. And when this happens, please expect that a little bit of distraction will come, where people now, all of a sudden, you'll hear, oh, I'm going to discredit this one because that one is that. And you will always have whistleblowers coming out. And what I will say is, when these things happen, to shed light in these dark spaces, not just for autism, more will come. But for right now, let's celebrate this win. And while I'm saying this, asking you passionately to feel into every sacred wind that happens and know that it was not just a one-man wonder or one team wonder. It was a soul, what do you call it? It was a soul assignment that ushered in so many souls who volunteered. I know it's going to be uncomfortable to come into this lifetime as somebody in the autistic realm, but I choose to come into this family because it's well reputable, and I choose to come into that family and that state and this community that's never had it. Why? Because it will trigger a domino effect of people seeking answers, because now we deserve to have answers. Do you understand? So it is so soul deep. Just because you see things happening just in front of you, I want you to begin to feel into it and feel the victory, no matter how gentle it is. Because they deserve it, don't you think? They deserve to belong. They deserve to be. They deserve for other people to look upon them and know that they are a beautiful aspect of love. They are an aspect of God, that they really do have no ability not to love. They don't know how not to love. What they do feel is your inability to love without the conditionality that you add to it. Yeah, I will love you. I'm your teacher. I'm your doctor. I love you, but you're just weirded me out. I don't understand when I tell you no, and you start to act out, and they feel your limited love. And I remember my pre-birth experience when I felt how people love limited, and it bothered me on a soul level. I don't understand. I have unconditional love. Why is it that they say I love you, but I can feel that they love you because, and I will love you only if you follow our culture, and only stick with our race, and only remain in this sexuality, and I love you only if. And these are the advanced souls who chose to come here to show you the containment of love has been busted open. And love has no boundaries. It goes beyond that. And it's time that we have acknowledged it. I give thanks to anybody, any team, any administration, I don't care who they are, who allow light to be shined on this. And this is not the only one. So many others have tried and been ridiculed. So many others have tried and been successful within their own cultures, where autism is not there at all. So many have successfully harnessed the unconditional love that comes from them and seen miraculous healing within their own children, because they understood that there's more to this than a disability, and they understood, oh my gosh, this is God mirroring me. This is how I love to, without words. This is how I love to, without being normal, as you say, or society says I'm normal, with 10 working fingers and 10 working toes, walking upright and articulating speech the way you said I need to speak in order to say I love you. There's so much more to this under the surface. Or if you want to visualize, we're on this stage and somebody just busted open those 2 red curtains, and now we're looking behind, and all the mechanics and all the players that are in this, and you realize, oh my gosh, this is not just an autistic child or a child with ADHD or a family who's struggling to figure out how to work out their child, if they can take them to a birthday party or if they can bring them to school, because they're not sure. Is when they go there and they start to feel the energy of judgment, they start to act out. And how do I explain it to them? Because all they see is somebody that's dysfunctional. You don't understand that the curtain has now been busted open, where you can pause now, observe behind the curtains to see, you know what, this child really is pure love. And this might be happening in my family now. And you know what's amazing? There's so many adults who are walking around now who have the spectrum, who are so fearful of talking about it. And as this curtain has been busted open, you will hear people now that you never knew to say, you know, I have had and been aware that I've been diagnosed with this thing for all this time, but I was fearful to talk about it because I was fearful of what society would do, and I was fearful I might lose my job. But see, I also have a spot of color from this beautiful spectrum, and I exist, and I function, and I integrate, and I love. It's amazing. It's you. If you don't feel how amazing this is yet, just feel how it feels to be a part of a revolution, a part of change, a part of a cataclysmic mountaintop where we are now, where we are just going to filter not just for autism, but for everything else. I am so happy that for once, I can actually see and witness, okay, so now the healthcare sector, these shaky beams are finally starting to get out of balance, and it's not as if it's going to crumble completely. However, the shaky boulders, we are going to kick them out, and we are rebuilding creatively to make sure that there's a balance now, to make sure that there is a level playing field, that they will be seen and heard, every single one, every what you call disability or dysfunction that you can think that you're going through. This is just the tip of the iceberg, and I'm asking you to send your light to the person you know who has an autistic child, or somebody on the spectrum, or the child that you witness on the bus or on the street that's having a full-blown tantrum. I ask you from this moment on to be aware of the special ability they have to simply feel, and they're feeling the frustration and the anxiety in their parent, or you who are judging them and they don't know how to articulate it, and they are absolutely going into a tantrum like any adult would if they think somebody's judging them with beautiful choice words, and they're using their energy and their voices of screaming to do it. Can you, within that moment, instead of saying, I'm so happy that's not my child, can you in that moment instead place your hand on your heart and send love and healing to that beautiful family, to that beautiful child within that breath, and add light to this situation? I urge you, because this, if an extraterrestrial group can be so excited about our choice of finally, we haven't really glued it together yet, but finally choosing to lock hands like this. I don't care who you believe in, who you follow, who's your hero. I don't care. I don't care where you come from. I just care about us locking like this and choosing, yes, let's put the colors together, and eventually, you don't understand. Before I close, this touched me deeply. The other night I was watching a video with Pamela Arlen. I love her deeply. I followed Pamela for years. I'm a part of her tribe. And I don't think people understand what Pamela stands for, because she's so compassionate and so loving herself. However, she was doing a video, I'll go fastly. I don't remember what year, but it was like 100 or 200 years from now. And they were talking about the changes in the world and what was happening then and how beautiful it was. And I love this because I have these memories, and I also have these connections, and I can see and feel, and we know the changes that will happen. And there was this one comment that hit me, and it didn't hit me with judgment, but it hit me to observe. And there was this one individual under one of her posts who said, what's the point of showing this now? We're not going to be alive 100 years from now. And yes, the human side of me almost began to judge, because I was livid. Because when you feel the change and you can see, oh my gosh, the choices that I'm making now is ushering that newness that not my ancestors, but the ones who are coming behind me will experience, my children's children will experience in 2100 and 2200. This is happening now also. And I thought to myself, if you would only understand and feel in every choice that you make now and every thought that you have in your mind right now, it allows what we call the future 100 years from now also to change now. I know it sounds weird. It allows 2200 to change now. The choices you make right now. So don't think that the choices you have to make now aren't important because you won't be alive. How can you really say that and feel into your heart when you say that's true? What about every other life in your lineage and everyone in your community now that you love so much? All their children from the choices you make now, to simply choose to add light to every situation, to make sure that 2100 is the way it's being projected now, because it is a probability, One choice that we make now can change it completely. So that's why I said 2100 is happening now in our choices. 2200 is happening now in our choices, in how we choose to see the aspect of God in everyone and understand you deserve your right. Just like the change that we are witnessing now for these beautiful children who, yes, in 2100 will be completely supported, where people won't look at them and have judgment or wonder what's happening with their families because they just didn't know how to judge. Can you imagine a world where you don't judge a mother with a child? Instead, you just know, oh my gosh, let me play my part and add love to the situation. I think we should think of our choices now and understand it's not just for us and our family. It's for every other human being who walks behind your footsteps. And this is our cape that we are putting out. We are the superheroes of 2100 and 2200, don't you understand? You are the Robins and the Batmans and whatever, the Superman or whatever you want to call them, the Catwomen. We are the ones who fly this cape, don't you understand? It is important that we shut up and feel the changes that we are making in this world right now. And with that, I am complete. And I'm very honored to be a witness and be alive on this planet today. I don't know about you, but I feel really damn good. Love and light to you.